Greetings and welcome to 2-Minute Tips for Healthy Beauty and Confident Aging. I'm Sharon Danley, and this channel's focus is on inner and outer beauty through simplicity, strength, style, and grace. I'd just like to make sure that we are online before I go any further, just to be sure. So if somebody is there and could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Today's discussion is on self-governance, the third in the series of I'm the Boss of Me. And after we've done that, we'll have our usual 2-minute beauty tips followed by our usual Q&A. Alrighty, let's just jump into it, shall we? Okay, self-governance. Self-governance is all about inner management on every level that there is. How you think, speak, act, and look directly affects your self-esteem, and it makes a lasting impression on others. The fundamentals to a healthy and strong inner outlook and outer charisma, it's all about how you take care of yourself. And it shows in every way possible. So, how do we look at that a little bit further? Well, first of all, there's two components in my not so humble opinion. One is our mind, and we are what we focus on. So, whatever we're thinking about directly affects every cell in our body, and it translates to our outer expression. So you want to fill your mind with positive and healthy spiritual food. Now, given our current circumstances with the coronavirus going around, it's a difficult time. It's a very challenging time for so many people because of the fallout of it and everything else. And this is really a good time to make sure that you are in charge of how you feel, because it has a massive impact on how you will relate to others and how you will just feel yourself day to day during this time. Learn to be in charge of your emotions, not the reverse. So with given today's circumstances, make sure that you follow good, common sense, reliable information about what's happening in the world. But don't leave it up to the world to decide how you are going to be. We've all heard that universal hygiene and self-isolation are two paramount things, especially the self-isolation. Some people are being very cavalier about it, and it's just not fair to anybody else to do that. But the thing is, this is where we can take responsibility and be our own bosses by how we treat ourselves. So doing the very best that you can for you in these circumstances is going to pay off not only for you, but for your loved ones as well. Now, it's really important, and especially now, to honor all your feelings and emotions. Give them time to be expressed in healthy ways. Again, I refer back to the journal. However you have a journal, whether it's video, audio, you write in a designated book, you use a Post-it note journal, whatever you do, it's really important to express your feelings, especially right now, about what's going on. Express them, get them out of you on paper or however you do it, and then study it and look at whether it's paying off for you or not. Or is there some places that you need to adjust your thinking or your actions about all of this to make it better for you? Now, here's something that's really important. Emotions are neutral. I'm going to say it again. Emotions are neutral, and every one of our emotions has a job. You choose whether they are negative or positive. An example would be when you're really upset about something. Sometimes it's an overdone thing. It's not necessary in some cases. Say if somebody called you a name or said something that was hurtful or did something that was hurtful. But a mother with a child, if a child is running out into traffic, that emotion to save the child is what's really important to do. So A person who's in charge of their emotions knows which one to use and what value to put on it depending on the situation at the time. And you've probably heard this before, but choose how to respond. Don't react to what life sends you. There's times, again, like the example I just gave, where a reaction is really important. Most of the time, however, a response is a better way to be. And when we choose to respond, we usually give ourselves a little bit of thinking time as to how we're going to say or do our response to the situation at hand. Something that's always important. Always, 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 always. Infuse integrity, respect, and courtesy in all that you do. I'm sure that a number of you have seen, the young people down in Florida and the beaches just saying they don't care, they're going to play and party and everything anyway. That's disrespectful. It has no integrity, and it's not at all courteous to the world around them. That's an extreme example, but we all have experiences like that that come into our lives that we have to deal with. So the trick is to even when we have a difficult situation, if you can keep it respectful. So it's very easy, and it's a kind of a common practice these days to, when people don't like a leader, let's say, and I'm not going to mention any leaders, excuse me, but if they don't like a leader, it's very easy to call them a name, make fun of their hair, all kinds of things, and exaggerate actions that they've taken or things that they've said. So when you exaggerate, you lose your integrity, you lose the courtesy, and you lose the respect in what you're doing. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't speak up to what you feel is something that is wrong or lacks integrity itself. It's all in how you do it. And if we stopped, and the world changes one person at a time, we know that, like the 100th monkey. If we stop name calling, stop exaggerating, and stop making fun, and only deal with the issues, our world would be a better place. Develop a mighty ability to be self-dedicated. Choose what it is you want to do, how you want to do it, and dedicate yourself to being the very best that you can be at that. It pays off so handsomely in self-acceptance and self-esteem dividends. It's hard to calculate. Exercise your self-expression regularly too. Now, given that we are all self-quarantined or isolated, as we should be, because it's not just good for us, it's good for our families and loved ones. And it's good for the world around us. It's a perfect time to learn how to express ourselves more. There's all kinds of wonderful things on the University of YouTube and the internet for us. It's a good time to, learn a new language, learn a new skill. There's all kinds of help out there to help us with that. So self-expression is really, really an absolute cornerstone of a healthy person that has healthy self-esteem. Your most important relationship is with yourself and with your Creator. So pour on the love. Truly, because when you are the best you can be, you can certainly be the best for those around you that you serve and love. Learning is a lifelong joy, so commit to learning something new every day. One of the things you can do, and this is nothing new, is learn a new word every day. Make a friend of your thesaurus and dictionary. Find a new word and, use that word as much as possible throughout the day in what you're writing or who you're speaking with. Okay, so making sure that the mind is filled with the right things, the mind is directed, you've directed your mind in the ways that you want to take it, is really important. Now, aside from mind, I didn't want to remove that one, we have the spirit. And spirit is something that's, either over-talked or under-talked, in my opinion. Whether you have a God or a force you believe in or not, you still have a spirit that permeates itself through everything you do. It is the greatest guide, and working in harmony with it will massively impact your life in positive ways. Now, that can be expressed in all manner, whether you're, no matter what religion you are, or not. Spirit is the thing that is really there, and to be at one with your spirit is important. My friend Velma Demerson, who has since passed, was an avid advocate and wrote a couple of books. I think her first one was published when she was 81 or something like that. And her second one was published just before she passed away. But she was really something. And I remember we used to do a lot of advocacy work together. And I remember one day I was going through a difficult time myself. And I said, I feel like I've lost my spirit because the church I was going to at the time, the pastor was charged with sexual, harassment, abuse, or whatever. Can't even quite remember at the time. And I felt like I had lost something that was very close to me. And I remember Velma's wise words saying to me, Sharon, you don't need the church. Your spirit is with you wherever you go. And it was like one of those defining moments in my life. It was like a light bulb, a laser light bulb went on, and I thought, yes, of course. So for a long time after that, I used to go to my local cafe and do my journaling there because I was thinking Velma's words, taking my spirit with me. So, it's really, to me, it's a part of us that we simply can't ignore. Some ideas to create a quiet time and meditate daily. It refuels the essence of who you are, even if it's just for a few minutes. No matter, and it's different for everybody. It can be in your car. It could be having your morning caffeine. It could be, having, once the kids have gone for a nap in the afternoon, you have a moment to yourself. Just pick a time and kind of stick with it. Develop the power within yourself, not over others. Powerful people are powerful within themselves. They have no need, no desire to be powerful over others. That's such a mistake. And usually people that try to lord their power over others is because they don't have power or control over themselves and their well-being and their self-direction in life. So it's something to really think about. Develop or decide how you want your spirit to grow. So explore all possibilities till you find your fit. And most of us at this stage in our life have explored a number of ways. Some are still exploring. Some have explored, found, and left, and are exploring again. I personally believe that the eternal search to be one with your spirit is a lifelong thing. And it doesn't have to be arduous or anything else. It's just a lifelong relationship with yourself, your spirit, your higher power, the power within, with your God, however or whatever words work for you. That's the thing that is really paramount in being a fully actualized person and a person that's really in charge of themselves. I mean, remember that in spirit, true strength is gentle and kind. That doesn't mean to say that it doesn't have healthy boundaries either. Healthy boundaries are essential. And for me, I find oftentimes in the spiritual world of churches, synagogues, mosques, that sort of thing, tend to leave out that healthy boundary setting. Because when you have healthy boundaries, you don't enable people, but you stand with them while they find their way. Feng shui your surroundings and life in general. Feng Shui is the love. If you, in essence, what it means is if you don't love it or it doesn't serve you, let it go for somebody else to love or for it to serve someone else. Arrange your environment in ways that keep you feeling the flow and energy working in the most effective ways for you. A well-organized environment there's been so many studies done on this. It absolutely does give you a sense of being organized in your thoughts. I think that's why I personally don't like to have a lot of pattern or a lot of, too many different colors going on or anything like that at the same time. It's the same in my environment because it tends to clutter my thoughts. It tends to, just for me, now it may not be that way for others, but it is for me. So I like to keep everything clean line, streamlined so that what I organize not only in my world but in my mind and in my spirit all works together. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about Boss of Me for today. Do we have any questions before I move on to our 2 tips? Let me see. Joyce from thanks for sharing. Atlanta, Georgia, USA. You look lovely. Next time. Look heartily. I'm sorry, Joyce. I didn't quite get that, but thank you. And thank you very much. You're most welcome. And Frida. Hello, my dear. I hope you are keeping well. And we are in lockdown in Saudi too. My husband is a trauma surgeon, so he's working a lot trying to keep people informed. Stay safe. Lots of love, Frida. Oh, Frida, please give our blessings and sincere thanks to your husband and to all the healthcare workers, nurses, EMS people, everybody, everywhere around the world. Our heartfelt appreciation for the frontline dedicated work they are doing for everyone. I cannot imagine, especially our friends in Italy, how difficult that must be for those doctors and nurses. This is a good time. Oops, there I go. I cry easy, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's a good time for us to practice our prayers or our connection with our spirit, isn't it? Sending mental energy, love, light, and comfort, prayers, whatever it is we have to pass that mental energy on to all those working so hard for the benefit of humanity. Thank you. And Denise Bissell, it's in my bed, right? It's in my bed right now. I'm not sure what's in your bed, but okay. Oh, it's a stay in bed day for me. Gotcha, Denise. Hey, why not, eh? Why not? And Frida, thank you so much. You are lovely. Well, thank you as well, Frida. And please thank your husband and all the people that he works with for us. Please tell him all our love from Canada and the US and around the world. Thank you. And Denise, my daughter, a nurse in Savannah, pray for her, please. Yes, please tell her, Denise, I will, sending our very, very best. I cry easy, I cry easy because that's just the way I am. But beautiful things make me cry too. So I'm just, what we have here is a crisis. And I would like to recommend, because we have the time to do this now, looking up a book, if you can, by Scott Peck called The Road Less Traveled. It's one good read. Excuse me, ladies. I'm back. Sorry about that. It's a really good book to read, but the other book that he wrote that I think is a classic is Crisis in Community. And it's very true that when we do have a crisis, it brings out both the best and the worst in us. And when I see the best, something very, very deep within me gets stirred up, and that is the joy that we really can be kind and caring to each other. I find, I find that that is just people helping people. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing better on the planet. You can have all the money, all the diamonds, all the stuff that you want, but there's nothing like people helping people. And Denise, Lords is on live and made me melt down. Ah, yes, I can imagine. And I think we're all, at the point of some tears, and our emotions are in high gear at the moment, and that's why it's I think it's really important, even more so, to take charge of how we're feeling about ourselves and the world around us and what we can do. How can we help? I mean, there's some wonderful things going on where, because of the shortages of masks, you can find these on Facebook and on Google. There's patterns out there now for making masks that can be done. So for those sewers out there, what a wonderful way to spend your time making masks for our healthcare workers, and even for yourself. And let the healthcare workers have the masks. We can make masks out of what we have at home too. So on our Facebook page, Going Gray and Loving It, somebody's going to be putting up a post of how she made 4 different colored masks out of some skirts, and how she disinfects them after usage and that sort of thing. So there's something that can be done to help. So whatever we can do, right? And Bellatrix Caremongering. I see. Hashtag caremongering and hearts in windows in northern BC. It's good to see. Yes, it is, Bellatrix. Wonderful, isn't it? And for those who aren't aware, but I'm sure you are. But there's wonderful live streams. A lot of the churches, synagogues, and mosques have closed. Temples are down. Most of them are now, so that they're live streaming their services, which is really great. My personal church is live streaming once a week on Sundays, but every day one of the clergy is going to do a little 10-15 minute talk, prayer session, or whatever throughout the week, just to help people keep engaged. So you see, there's all kinds of ways we can take advantage of being isolated in our homes. Doesn't mean we're isolated from the world. And Patty Cole, this global shutdown makes it a little easier to appreciate truly important things. Family members sticking closer, and our large family is practicing being gracious towards each other. Oh, Patty, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? And for those who are isolated with their families, it's also a wonderful opportunity to learn about, if you don't practice this, the talking stick. And to practice talking with the stick, where whoever's holding the stick is the only one that's allowed to talk. When they've finished, then the other people can paraphrase what they've said to make sure that they've heard it correctly. And if not, the person holding the stick can clarify further. Then once it's completely clarified, then the stick gets passed to the next person. I have to tell you, that little exercise in and of itself does so much to help so many people. I can't imagine it. And it comes from our Indigenous First Nations sisters and brothers who practiced this. It was a way that they interacted and still do. So thank you to them for passing on that wonderful way to interact with each other. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions at the moment, so I'm going to go to our 2-minute beauty tips. So during this self-isolation time, I'd like you to remember to please sanitize all your products and tools, okay? Don't go into the stores, which we can't now anyway. Don't test any counter products at all whatsoever. And I would recommend not ordering products online. Why is that? Because they're handled by people. They have to be packaged by people. So now's not the time to do that, in my opinion. And two, now's the time to practice your brow shaping, your lip correction, and your hairstyles. You've got the time, ladies. Why not go there? Why not just practice with whatever you have? And remember, when you've finished, clean. I have alcohol all over my apartment. I've got one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, one in the front hall, two by my desks, one in my bedroom, one by my sofa. And of course, if you're out of wipes, the sanitary wipes, that sort of thing, you can take a paper towel and saturate it in alcohol and use that as a wipe too. So it's easy to saturate a towel and then wipe all your tools off that you've used for your makeup to to make sure that they're clean. And of course, washing your hands for the 20 seconds. I've got a video up. I think in the video that I put up about the coronavirus earlier this week, I put a link in there to a Dr. John Campbell, who is in the UK, and he has a wonderful, quick, simplified video on how to wash your hands properly. Because most of the time we don't pay too much attention to it. So, but now we really have to. Even if you're completely on your own, it still is a really good idea. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Well, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. So then I'm going to jump to, if you're looking for anything, and especially now, you can find it if you put it into the search on my main page or go to the playlists. And if you see, once you click on the playlist, there's a whole bunch of whole bunch of playlists there that for you to find exactly what it is you need and follow the videos on the playlists. Now, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe this channel if you haven't already. It means a lot because I'm not monetized, so the algorithms don't work for me so much. So it would really be helpful. I have a Facebook group for I'm the Boss of Me that is absolutely dedicated to this. People who have questions or want to talk about stuff or collectively come up with some ideas about ways to handle things on a more personal level, and it's closed and private, so it doesn't go anywhere but on that page. So please feel free to join us there. And this is my YouTube channel to like, share, and subscribe to. And here is the live stream that you'll be looking for I'm the Boss of Me. All of these sessions will be put up, so if you're just starting out now, you can go back and start at session 1 and carry on from there. It's pretty darn easy. So here's an assignment for you. I'd like you to list the ways you are aware when you are in charge and when outside sources are running the show. No, try to discern and find the differences between the two, okay? And then list all the things that speak to your spirit, all of them. It's amazing the number of things that can speak to us and to the God of your understanding, okay? So let's see if we have anything else here. Oh, Denise has something. She says, I love Dr. Campbell. Yes, isn't he wonderful? I love his no-nonsense, straightforward, streamlined, easy approach, pencil and paper. He's quite charming, actually. And I love that he's not panic-driven, but he tells it like it is. So yeah, we're in good company, Denise. Anyway, ladies, remember, during this challenging time, be in charge, be responsible, and be safe for you and your loved ones. We'll see you next time. Mwah.